Hey everyone, my name is Raffy Lopez. I'm here with Rapsodo, and we have Coach Rick Strickland here at Rick Strickland Baseball here in St. Louis. Rick's just a really brilliant coach we have out here, working with the young guys and also pro guys like myself. And we're just going to go over a hitting session, and we're just going to discuss some of the key data points you're going to look for when hitting and how you can go about your session and future sessions as well. So Evan, if you could take a few swings for us, that'd be great.
Good. That's 94, Evan. That's a pretty good lick. 27 launch angle, 17. What we're trying to do with a lot of the guys is make sure that we square the ball up with low spin. We're looking at the clock down below. It's at 148, so we kind of look at that as a swing path indicator. So really, really, really good from that perspective. So a lot of what we're looking at, and we look at this, as an individual swing, but we also look at them as a collective swing. And what we want to see is that there's low standard deviations at the launch angle as we look at. So he's got a goal when he hits about where he wants his swing to actually play out. That was about 21 degrees right there, right? So we kind of look at that in relationship to the power too. If the power is not enough, we can't live too high. We have to live a little bit lower so we can get base hits. 91 at 1600 spin. Well, that's interesting. He wanted another pitch, but that's actually one to teach off a ball that's low and inside. We know based upon the balls that we look at in Rapsodo that that's a trouble spot for him. He doesn't have great bat speed and elevation levels on that particular pitch, and if you go out and look at his in the cloud at his pitches, you know that there's a trouble spot for him. So we're trying to figure out why is it that particular location for him is not a good pitch. So you can see him indicate to the pitching coach, the guy out there put the balls in, lift the machine up, and I'm like, no, let's stay in that area. Let's figure out how can we actually get that thing with more bat speed so we get more exit speed and more launch angle to that pitch.
Yeah, that's something when we're collecting the data, all that will go into the reports. So you can gather all that data, look at it, and really get an idea of where that player's strengths and weaknesses are. I remember myself with Rick training, we were able to look at the different locations based on those reports. And one thing that I might have thought I was maybe struggling in, or that hitter might be struggling in, you can actually find the averages to even the different parts of the field and see how that player's hitting the ball at different parts of the field. And you'd actually be surprised at what may even look like a weakness could also be a strength when you go back and look at those reports. Because as a player, you can just get so wrapped up in your head and think you may be doing something incorrect. And those reports can just be really reassuring to those strengths and weaknesses. Absolutely. Go ahead and take another.
So ball elevated. It looked like it was elevated. That was 95 miles an hour at the 1100 spin, 19 degrees launch angle, which is great. That's basically what he's practicing his swing to be. And hopefully we can get that on all the boxes throughout the strike zone if we make the swing look like that.
Yeah, and it's just a great example here. With the spin direction being at the 30 minutes and a lower spin rate as well, it's just as close to possible as a pure backspin you can have there. And I know, especially in a practice session, having that lower total spin will really help go into the game, because in practice you should really be focusing on centering up the ball, and he clearly did that on this swing.
One of the things you see a lot of times he's telling you too is that the ball gets further away from him. He's losing his ability to drive it as well. So when you're looking at the direction of the pitch, if you start to look at that, you're going to see a big difference in exit speed as the ball starts to go to the opposite side of the field. So a hitter can say, I can go the other way, or if I really want to drive the pitch, I need to be looking at something that I can actually drive. That pitch may be on the outer part of the plate. I might not be able to drive as well because my exit speeds kind of reflect that the ball's not hit as hard. So the good thing is that Rapsodo actually gives you an opportunity to scout yourself. Tell me what I'm good at. So the great thing too, I'm also looking at swing before was about 3,000 spin, total missed hit. So when we talk to players about, a lot of times a big misconception about hitting is you need to put a lot of spin, a lot of spin, a lot of spin. But what we see is that the more spin the guy actually puts on the ball, the more it's reflected in the fact that they actually missed the pitch. So we know that if we go back and look at a lot of the missed pitch swings that we have, we're going to see a greater amount of spin in those swings. .31 degrees, 1300 spin, good. All the swings are staying right pretty much in the same 12 to 130 slot, so we know the path is really, really consistent. Yep, 1100 spin. So he top spin that one a little bit, didn't he, right? Was the ball sinking down? Right? May not be reflective in the swing, it's just where he hit the ball. Hit on top of the ball a little bit, the ball spun a little bit differently. A lot of times young hitters will get in there and they'll want to change the swing. I'm like, no, leave the swing alone. It's good.
There we go.
And why I say that about leaving the swing alone is because, you know, he's been really, really consistent. When you look at it over, you know, he's taken 30 swings here. So when you look at over 30 swings, you're trying to look at what is his best swing. And Rapsodo definitely clearly will tell you what his best swing will look at when you look at his hard hit averages and what those balls actually look like.
And one thing to notice as well is the total spin. So as Rick reflected on earlier, the higher spin rates, the more the spin of the ball. Here it's not too bad, it's just slightly over 2,000 RPM. But you'll notice on fly balls that, and I'm sure you have too, that as that spin gets higher, you're actually going to lose distance. You almost have like a parachuting effect. So that's something really important for the hitters to realize is keeping those spin rates a little lower, you'll actually get a greater amount of distance even with the backspin.
Fair amount of spin on it, a little bit of, that ball wasn't quite as bad as I thought it was. There's a lot more power behind it. So to illustrate over Raffy's point about spin, you can get away with it if you can hit the ball a lot harder than 88, 89 miles an hour. It will travel a little bit, but there's a point where most humans can't put enough extra speed on it to overplay a 5,000 spun ball. That's a knuckleball at 503, so that ball's not spinning at all. It's probably not going to carry a whole lot either. But it's squared up. You've hit the center of that ball, it's good. We're going to see a lot more of the high exit speeds on the low spin balls.
Go and take one more swing.
Yep, another well-struck ball, 20 degrees launch angle. 2 o'clock, still in that range of 10 to 2.
Okay, last one. Be a good one. Nice.
Beautiful. 24 degrees, 25 degrees roughly. That's probably the furthest ball you hit in this session. 2,300 spin, right at 12 o'clock, pure backspin. Right, actually 15 minutes actually. 6 o'clock spin, that's definitely pure top spin on that ball. All right, shortstop's got it.
We'll go ahead and make this one the last swing. And
yeah, so definitely any of the balls he's hitting more towards the center right, center field area. You're going to see a higher amount of spin for him today. We work on being able to hit that ball the other way without that amount of spin going to the opposite field. So swings, I would always look at this as in the session that the swing to the opposite field is a little bit off, that we can work to get better at that.
And you can see with that spin rate too that you definitely miss that ball. So that's just something, it's a very easy indication of whether or not you've squared that ball up or not, and those higher spins will tell you that. So yeah, I mean, that would be a normal hitting session we'd go through, and you can use it as benchmarks, assessments, however you see fit, and like I said, all that will be in that cloud, so you can really track the player's weaknesses and strengths. I know with Rick and I, when we did our hitting sessions in my off seasons, you know, we always had a goal of having those spin directions between 10 and 2. It just, we realized that within most swings, having that swing or that spin direction just gave you the best swing path to adjust to different pitches and different zones. And our goal in sessions was, we try to have 1,000 spin rate. I had a tendency to overspin balls and be underneath. So a goal for me was to center up the ball as much as possible. And for me, that meant a lower total spin and staying in a launch angle of of roughly like 20 degrees, knowing when I went to the game I was going to have a hair higher. I know we did focus a little bit on launch angle, and you're able to keep those launch angles consistent and those exit velos consistent. You're going to have really good results, especially with the spin rates as well.
One of the big things we found out is that as you started to work on low spin, the launch angles actually came down. And the reason why it came down is guys are trying to find the center of the ball. It didn't come down to like 10 degrees. It stayed in that 15 to 20 degree range, which is what we're looking for, consistency. In hitting, you know, a lot of times guys are looking for styles and I'm going to hit the ball to the opposite field to the left field foul line, but really don't have a lot of control of that. Really, as a striker, we're trying to figure out how best can we strike this ball on a consistent basis, no matter how difficult the situation is. And that's one of the things, once we started to use Rapsodo, we got really, really good at, is that with the pitches, we're using a super fast machine. The goal of how we needed to attack the pitch was the same. I think guys stopped trying to hit the ball to the opposite field. The only focus was to square the ball up at that point. And so that's really, you know, what the hitter is, really what the hitter has control of, is how he's swinging the bat and what type of contact he's going to try to make on the pitch. He doesn't know what pitch is coming, but he needs to make sure he puts a swing on that can square the ball up.
Yeah, and those are just different ways that you can look at these, the data, the metrics, the reports, and helping your players improve while using Rapsodo. And you know, I know it helped me tremendously in my career. I know it's helped Rick and his as well. And it's just such a beneficial tool. Rick, appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you.